and welcome to our second in the Friday Pilates series. Today we're going to be having a half-hour Pilates workout, working through some mixed ability level moves. So make sure you're please warmed up and remember that you shouldn't be feeling pain or discomfort with any of the moves. If this happens, you've either got the move slightly wrong, you might be working to a level slightly higher than what you should be, or you've got an underlying issue that needs a doctor or medical consultation. So I hope you enjoy this. As always, I'd love to hear from you, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want some more free workouts. Okay, let's get down to the mats. Okay, so when you get down onto the mat, we often sometimes feel a bit stiff because we're lying on a harder surface. So if you want to take any stretches and just move the body around a little, always feel free to stretch at any point during my sessions. Okay, and then we're going to come back into our neutral spine. So the neutral spine position is a position that our body's at the strongest. So we want to have our feet at hip width, knees upright, and a nice level pelvis. That soft arch in the base of the back is there, so we're not pressing the back down into the mat. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, then just start to draw in your stomach muscles and take a couple of breaths drawing the belly button downwards without collapsing the spine, and just gently lift the pelvic floor. We're going to take a breath here. And on our next exhale, generating energy from the stomach muscles, we're going to scoop into an ab crunch. So we're rolling the shoulders up away from the mat, reaching the fingertips long, and then we roll back down to the mat again. Take the inhale, exhale, scoop. Abdominal muscles pull in, the neck is soft, the shoulders are curled up away from the mat, and we roll back down again. Going to pop a little arm lift into the next one. So we scoop up, lift the arms. Now it's up to you how high you lift the arms. You can bring them right up above your shoulders for a little more challenge. Then we lay the upper body down again. Circle the arms around, and as they come back down by your sides, we scoop back into our ab crunch. Lift the arms, lower the upper body, circle around, pull your ribs in, and scoop. Lift, soft shoulders. Draw the upper body back down to the mat and circle. We're going to do two more. Scoop in, flat abs. Lift, lower the upper body, circle round. Last one. Scoop into the ab crunch. Lift the arms, lower the upper body. As you circle around this time, just take the arms down by your sides, press the arms into the ground, and we're going to move into our tabletop lifts. Now one leg comes up to tabletop with the knee sat above your hip. Pull in your stomach muscles. Little lift in the pelvic floor. We exhale the second leg to tabletop. There should be no tension in your back or shoulders. If there is, move your leg position a little. Pop the legs down one at a time. Let's go again. We exhale up. Close down the stomach muscles. Exhale the second leg up. Take a breath. And we pop them back down one at a time. Last round. Second leg lifts. Breathe into it, and your stomach muscles should just feel a little bit strained, a little bit activated. Legs down. On the next one, we're going to take it into the Pilates 100. I'm going to give you two variations of position. If your neck aches at any time, feel free to put your head down, but I'd only do that when you've got your legs at the tabletop position, not if they're lengthened out, okay, because it's a bit too much strain on the back. So let's come one at a time to our tabletop. Scoop in the abs, roll chin to chest, reach the fingertips long, and we're pumping from the arms. So this is your slightly more basic position, it's still hard work. You can lay your head and neck down in this position. If this doesn't feel quite enough challenge within your abs, you press the legs away. Now, generally speaking, the higher the legs are, the slightly easier. The lower the legs are, the harder. So you have to think about this in your own body. Most people will probably want to be about here, about 45 degrees. Big pumps in those arms. Not forgetting to breathe. We're over halfway now. Keep the legs nice and stable. Abs nice and flat. Okay, let's start to bring it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw the knees, relax the upper body down. Just have a little bit of movement into the mat, little bit of rotation. And then pull out for a full body stretch. So lengthen through your fingers, through your toes, maybe slightly overarch the back, and then we come back to our neutral spine position. Make sure that you're straight back into that hip width position from the legs. Pop your hands on your hips just for a little bit of awareness. And we're going to take our right leg to tabletop. Now keeping the angle of your knee the same, you're going to exhale to take that toe down to the ground, then inhale to draw it back. Now you can see from the video, I'm not moving my knee joint, it's my thigh that's moving. Now your left leg should be really still, this is why the hands are on the hips. As you're moving this leg up and down, your left leg shouldn't be wobbling. Let's take this into a hip opener. Keep your leg at tabletop and open the leg to the side. Now same thing, have you kept the weight in the left hand side of your pelvis? Or did you rock over on the mat with your leg? Let's do one more. Open out, close back. Let's take that into a nice little hamstring stretch. Lengthen the leg up. Hamstring stretches or hamstrings in general are something you need to work on. They get quite tight. Men tend to suffer a little more than women. And they're not something that we tend to have natural flexibility in unless you are hypermobile or double jointed. So this is the sort of thing that's worth working on a regular basis. It's just stretching your hamstrings. Tight hamstrings are really bad for your lower back. Bend the knee into the body and pop that foot down. Let's do the same exercise the other way. So stable right leg. Let's exhale that toe down, inhale back. And the thigh is making this movement whilst the pelvic floor is engaging. Stomach muscles are drawing down. Okay, let's take it into a little hip opener. So as the leg at tabletop, we open to the outside. Now don't let the other side of your hip rock off the mat. Close back up. Open out. And close back. One more. Open, exhale. Inhale back. And stretch the hamstring out. Lengthen the leg away. Don't worry if you've got a bit of a bend. You should just be feeling very slightly uncomfortable as you stretch this leg out, I'm afraid. Don't force it. Take a breath and then bend the knee into the body. Right, we're going to come into our double leg stretch now. So we're going to draw both knees in and we're going to place a hand on each knee. We're going to start off quite small with this movement. Compressing the abs down, leaving the head and neck on the floor. On your next exhale, you're just going to reach the arms up and press the legs away. Now you should feel a big activation in your stomach muscles here. That might be enough for you. Circle it back into your knees. If you want to make the shape a little larger, you can, or the next level is to roll chin to chest. Compress down the abs and we reach the arms up and lengthen the legs away, circling the arms back into the knees. So when we work this position, we should feel it in the abdominal muscles, not in the back. If you're feeling it in the back, you need to make your move a little smaller. If your head and neck gets a bit achy or tired, two things. You're either taking your arms too far behind you here and it's stressing your neck, or your move's a little too big. Just rest the head and neck down. Move the head side to side and you can come again. Let's do one more. And relax the head down. Quite a challenging move, that one. Have a little bit of rotation through the hips. And again, pull out for the stretch. A little bit of an overarch in the base of the back. And then we pull yet again back to our neutral spine. Right, one more move before we do a little bit of strength work today. We're just going to come into our one leg stretch, which is one of my fave moves. And to warm up for the one leg stretch, we're just going to have a little bit of heel slides. You'll know from my previous videos if you've watched them. I'm a great fan of this move. It's a very simple move where you're just extending one leg away with the heel or the toe keeping in contact with the ground. But what should be happening is the rest of the body should be still. So as that one leg extends, your knee, hip, torso, all your core muscles are switched on and the body is stable. When you swap legs, there shouldn't be a big rock in your hips. If there is, your pelvic floor's not quite engaged. It's a really good move for you to check how well you're controlling. Okay, you're going to draw this knee back into your chest and hug it in. Pressing that thigh into the chest, we're going to lengthen the other leg away. Take a little stretch here, opposition, reach with that lengthened leg and swap, reach the leg away. Now roll chin to chest and off we go. So the one leg stretch, we're gently drawing the leg into the body whilst lengthening the other leg away. The neck should be soft and the body should be still. We're going to do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw both knees in, relax the body down. We're going to come onto our side. Right, we're going to work side bends today. This is a move that I used to dread when I was first practicing Pilates. It's quite a challenging move, but it's a very beneficial move. We have 2 levels of the side bend. We work on the elbow or on the hand. Today, because this is the first one on our Friday series, we're going to work on the elbow, which is a slightly lower level side bend. So when you come onto your elbow, I want it to be directly under your shoulder. It shouldn't be jutting out or tucking in. Then just lift your waist and your shoulder joint up. So you're not collapsed down to your joint. Your shoulder should never be near your ear. Lift and press away. Now the knees are bent to the front, but we're going to open that top leg out. So this is our basic side bend position. And as this is the first time that we've done it in this series, the first one we're going to pop our hand down on the floor for a little bit of support. You're just going to lift yourself up onto this knee. So on your next exhale, lift the hips up and push your weight forward onto the supporting knee. Now when you lower, it should be done slowly, so your waist muscles here are controlling. Now if that felt okay, we're going to release the arm. The arm comes up and over, the hips lift, and we press the weight forward into that supporting knee. When you come down, steady, slow, feel those waist muscles up and over. Come back down. If you want a little bit more challenge, you can straighten your legs. So as you come up, we're not coming onto the knee, we're pushing the legs straight. You might need to shuffle them away and then come back down again. If they're in a little bit too tight, let's go again. Press away. Come back down. Now we're going to release ourselves up and stretch over. So it's very good for strengthening shoulders, the side bend. It's also good for your waist. Stretch the other way. If this stretch, by the way, isn't comfortable with your legs at your side, just pop them in front of you. Just make sure you're sitting in a position that you're comfortable in. 1 more. Press away. And we're going to come down onto our fronts. We're going to work some simple back extensions today. So just taking the forehead down to the mat and taking the arms down by your sides. Legs should be hip width. And shoulders are just softened off your back. Be careful they're not up and tight. Relax them down. We're going to lift into a little back extension, releasing the head, neck and chest away from the mat, but we're still looking down at the mat, lengthening over the back of the neck. Lower back down, soften shoulders. On your next exhale, we lift up again. And what you should be feeling is these muscles either side of your spine working all the way down the back, lower back down. If you want to make it a little bit more active, on your next one you're going to lift the arms up from the floor, reach your fingertips towards your toes, active shoulders down your back, then we lower back down to the forehead, soften shoulders. Up we come again, reaching fingertips, and lowering back down. Last one. Exhaling up. As you come back down this time, we're going to scoot back into a child's pose, lifting the body up, reaching backwards and opening out the base of the back. Okay, Hope you're feeling all right. We're going to come up and over onto our other side now. So we've got our other side bends to do. What you'll notice is you'll find it easier on one side. We're all stronger on different arms, different sides of our waist, different legs. It's very rare that people are very even through their muscle structure. So when you come down onto your other side, just take a moment to think about your position. Your hips are nice and upright. This elbow is underneath the shoulder and the waist is lifted, so we're not collapsed down into this joint. Take a moment to lift yourself up. Open the top leg. And again, you don't have to start with your hand down on the floor. If you're used to your side bends, feel free to release that. Taking the inhale, lifting the waist, pulling the stomach muscles in. We're going to push the hips forward and just take our weight onto that supporting knee. Control as you lower it back down. Then release the hand. And it's a strong arm that reaches up and over, hips follow. Push the hips forward onto the supporting knee and control as you come back down. One more. So remember, like we did on the other side, you can straighten your legs out if you want to. You will probably have to shuffle your legs away, okay? It's a little bit more challenging when we're not balancing on that knee. When the legs straighten out, oh, yep, need to move mine away, there we go, and come back down again. Take an inhale, exhale, straighten away. Oh, hit my cupboard. Didn't realise I was that close. Last one only if you're up for it. If that felt that you've done enough, leave it at that. Come back down. And we're going to again come into that mermaid stretch. Taking the arm up and over. And this way. Remember, not everybody finds it comfortable having their legs to the side, so just swing them in front of you. And let's remain seated. Okay, we're going to do our spine series next. So looking at mobility within the spine and also flexibility within the spine and the legs. So as always, if you struggle with this section, you can sit on a block just to lift your hips up a little. A lot of people find seated work a little bit challenging on their hip flexors, down the front of their hips and also on the thighs. So if any time you need to have a good old stretch and move about, then do. Obviously keep remaining facing your screen. I'm going to come on my side so you can see what we're doing. We're going to start with a little bit of a dynamic hamstring stretch. I really like this one. Coming onto your mat, just take a little curve through the back, just so that you can balance as you take hold of one of your legs. We're going to lengthen that leg up to the ceiling and just point and flex through the foot. So it's a really nice pulsing stretch into the hamstring, and it's a lovely way to warm up the legs before we go into our seated work. For those of you who want more ab challenge, start to pull your stomach muscles in, soften your shoulders and let go of the leg. Keep pulsing and flexing. We have a lot of discussion about how heavy legs are in class. Okay, let's soften that knee and press your chest to your knee. Swap to the other side. Little C curve, lengthen the leg up and pulse and flex. So for me, this leg is a lot tighter than my other leg. I'm struggling more within this flexion. So let's pull in the abs and let's let go. Try not to drop the leg. We're trying to keep that leg up. Okay, press into your thigh. So now we're just giving the legs a nice little second stretch, because we had a stretch when we were on our back as well. Take a moment to pull up nice and tall. So we're getting this lengthened length of the spine. So we're not collapsing the base of the back in, we're not rounding the shoulders forward. We're trying to lengthen the spine as much as possible to the point that you almost feel like you're lightening on your sit bones. Depending on your flexibility, it will depend on how far you take your legs out. If you lengthen your legs, be very aware of whether this happened. If it did, you need to lift back up or soften your knees. Right, pulling nice and tall. Take the arms out in front, and we're going to start with a forward flexion today. We're going to reach out over the feet. Pull the belly button back, soften the shoulders down the back, and it's a big stretch all on the underside of the legs, through to the back, right to the top of the head. Then we'll restack. Imagine there's a brick wall behind you and we're lifting back up and tall. Shoulders down your back. Take an inhale, exhale, reach forwards. See if you can go a little deeper. Make sure you've not collapsed down to your legs. I don't want this. We're reaching out over the feet. and restack. And again, don't worry about your level of flexibility here. I used to struggle so much with this move. And unless you're hypermobile, as in you're double jointed, this is a tough position to be in. As you restack, we're going to draw our fingers back to our chest and roll our shoulders down our back. Have we still got the nice length in the spine? If we have, we're now going to have a rotation, so I want you to twist through your waist, but we're not twisting the hips. All the movement is in the upper body. Pull back to the centre, rotate the other way. Pull back to the centre. Let's repeat. Rotate, lengthen the spine, rotate, and lengthen. 2 more. Rotate, pull back and lengthen, rotate. When you come back to your start position, take a little breather. Relax around the back. Nice roll through the shoulders. And we're going to have a C curve. So, pulling the arms out in front. All we're doing in the C curve is rounding the back till we make that C shape with the spine. And we pull the stomach muscles in. Now what's nice with this position is you can work here just strengthening through your abdominal muscles, or you can start to put a little bit of challenge in it. When we put challenge in, we can start to rotate through the body, so we start to work more of the muscles. So rather than working just the muscles in the front, we can work on our side oblique muscles as well. So if you want to have a go at that, we're going to come into our C curve. We're going to take both arms over to one side. Then lift them up and over and take them to the other side. Come back to the centre and sit back up. Take an inhale, exhale. We're going to do 3 sets of this. You can make the move as big or as small as you like, as long as we're keeping our knees still, so we're not twisting the whole body. Last one, C curve in, up and over, twist through the waist, then pull it back, twist through the waist, pull it back, sit back up. Take hold behind the knees, stretch into your shoulder blades. Then carefully lower yourself down to the mat. Alright, we're going to draw the feet in just a little. Our last move that we're doing today is just our bridge work. I love the bridges. They're so good for mobilising your spine, strengthening your back, hips, glutes and legs. So with the feet just a little bit more tucked in. Shoulders tucked underneath. Take yourself into a pelvic tilt. So we push down the base of the back. This curls up the tailbone. So the hips are doing this. Just draw your stomach muscles in. Think about the pelvic floor, just very gently lifting it. Then roll back to neutral. Let's go again. Press the base of the back down into the mat. Pull and draw your abs in nice and deep. Roll back to neutral. Let's take it up to a bridge, and we're going to lift from the hips 1 vertebra at a time, keeping your knees still till we're up onto the shoulders. We've got those nice straight lines going from the shoulders, over the chest, through the hips to the knees. Weights even in the feet, then we roll it back down again. Now a little add-on if you want to do it today is you can have a practice at lifting onto your tiptoes. Now you don't have to do this, and for some people it can cause cramps, okay? So if you get a cramp, be sure to lengthen your leg out and give it a good stretch. On your next one, if you want to, then we're going to come up to the tiptoes. Now I love this because it really opens the hips up, but you'll probably find you've got to tuck your feet back a little. Okay, so in this position, we're balancing on less, so you've got to work a little bit harder to keep yourself still. Then we roll it back down again. Now you can put your heels back down. I know mine are tucked in really, really close. Peel back up again. Lots of movement rolling through that spine. Let's do 2 more. Last one, peeling up. Work through the spine, nice and stable at the top. When we come down this time, we're going to draw the knees in, 1 at a time, sinking them into the chest. Well done. So we're going to leave it at that for today, working through those moves. So sort of mixed ability level. I hope you enjoyed it. There'll be another video going out next Friday, so be sure to check my Facebook page every Friday for the latest video. Just rock those knees around, bring your yourself perhaps into a little bit of a tighter knee hug if you want to. Then pop the feet down on the mat. We're just going to have 3 little stretches to finish on. Just drop the knees over to one side. Take that nice twist through the back. Then take the knees up and over the other way. Little twist through the other side. Come back up onto your back and lengthen out into the full body. Last stretch through fingertips to toes. You will find some full stretching sequences on my YouTube channel. So if you want to do more stretching, you can look for some on there. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your days, and I hope you'll tune in next Friday.